I'm Ted Rubin on Twitter. I'm tedrubin.com. I'm basically Ted Rubin everywhere. So anywhere you want to find me, just go to Google, push in Ted Rubin, and the first 2 pages of results, maybe more, is me, other than the 97-year-old Medal of Honor winner from World War II. That Ted Rubin's not me. Absolutely. I mean, building an engaged social audience is so important, and I think it's as important for large brands as it is for small businesses, but I actually think it's easier for small businesses. Now, what you hear a lot is social media can be really difficult for small businesses. How do they scale it? How do they have the money for it? How do they have the time for it? But to me, engagement is such an easy, natural thing that they're already doing, but they might not even realize they're doing it. So what I try to say is take your real-world techniques and bring it online. So how do you engage when someone walks into your office? How do you engage when you go to a cocktail party or a networking event? You talk to people and you look them in the eye when you're talking to them. So digitally, I call this online, I call it looking people in the eye digitally. And it's something that I think is so important for every brand, every individual, but most importantly, it is such a basic concept to execute for small business. It's just really important. And how do you do that? Well, I like to quote Dale Carnegie a lot. And when I speak to audiences, I like to ask the question, what was the best social media book you've ever read? Or what's the best social media book ever written? And what I tell them is they're never going to guess the one I'm going to say because it was written in 1936. And it's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Why? Because Dale Carnegie got relationships and how to connect with people better than anybody today. He talks about calling people by name. So if you're a small business, you're probably not interacting with 5 million fans. You're interacting with a much smaller audience, with a much smaller dynamic. Make sure you call every one of them by name when they refer to you, when they talk to you, when they tweet. If you thank them for a retweet, thank them by name. If you thank them for sharing something. If you're just talking to them, at the end of every sentence, say their name. Thanks so much for stopping by, Derek. You know, it was really great talking to you, Derek. There's no word in any language that a person likes better than the sound of their own name. Then there's other ways to do it. Go and look at their profiles. If people are following you, or they're liking your brand, or they're coming into your store, get their names, look them up, check them out on LinkedIn. There's no excuse anymore to not know things about people you're meeting with. There's just too much information out there. So I'll give you a great tip. There's a great app out there called Refresh. Just like it sounds, spelled like refresh, and what it does is it connects to all your social networks and your calendar database and your contacts file. And anytime you're meeting with somebody, if it's in your calendar, it gives you things about them. It gives you tips. It tells you the last couple of comments they made on social media so that you can mention them. You can talk about their children or something that they talked about. It even comes in a format that says, ask Derek about what he did at Social Media Marketing World. That way, if I wasn't there, I know Derek was there. And for me, it's amazing how that scales. People think it doesn't scale because they say, well, how many people in a day can a business owner talk to? Truth of the matter is, most people don't want to talk to you. They're really not that interested. They want to know they can talk to you if they want to. So I give out my phone number on stage. I give it out on Twitter. People write me all the time and they go, dude, do you realize you just sent that out as a regular tweet? You didn't DM it. And I say, absolutely. And then people start tweeting out, Ted Rubin's giving out his phone number on Twitter, and it's actually his real phone number. But guess what? Nobody calls. But my reputation was enhanced. Because a brand is what you do. A reputation is what people remember. So if you're a small businessman and your brand might be, we deliver the best custom siding in the county, that's one thing. What really counts is when people say, oh my God, when I interacted with them, they were great. They showed up on time. They did a great job. When I called them with questions, they spoke to me. They answered it. They treated me like a human. They asked me how my day was. They actually said, how can I help you? Which is something you don't hear in small business anymore. So to me, that's a lot of the ways to do it. Stay focused. Follow back the people that follow you. Number one, show them interest. Number two, you follow them back. They won't unfollow you, and they'll be there to interact with in the future.